Hello everyone, I am Suspensions Guy. This is my blog on Camber Angle. I make blogs and YouTube videos on similar topics of race car engineering, vehicle dynamics, and design of Formula Student cars. So, today we'll be talking about what is Camber Angle, its types, why is it required, what are the effects, and the most common question, that is problems with negative camber. So first we'll be talking about track camber. If the or the road is slightly banked up to certain degrees, then the track is said to have a track camber. Generally it is 1 to 1.5 degrees but can be more for racing tracks. Now, what is tire camber? If the angle between the vertical axis and the vertical wheel center line when viewed from the front is called as the camber angle. As you can see in this image, orange line is the vertical wheel center line and black line is the vertical axis. The angle between these two is called as the camber angle. Okay, now the Formula Student cars and the Formula 1 cars generally prefer negative camber, and for the passenger cars they generally prefer zero or can be positive. Now there are three types of camber setups, that is positive, neutral and negative. Now, what is negative camber? If the car tire is slightly inclined towards the driver or towards the chassis, then it is said to have negative camber. As you can see in this image, the tire is slightly inclined towards the driver or towards we can say towards the chassis. Then it is called as the negative camber. Okay. Now, what is zero camber or neutral camber? When the tire is purely vertical, or the vertical wheel center line and the vertical axis are in line, then the tire is said to have a zero camber or neutral camber. Now, what is positive camber? Positive camber is totally opposite of the negative camber. The tires are inclined away from the driver or away from the chassis. Then the tire is said to have positive camber. Now, why is camber angle in vehicles required? The vehicle goes through a number of situations like straight driving and cornering being affected by the load transfer, vehicle roll, and other similar driving conditions. So, in order to get maximal grip or optimal grip during some conditions, the tire is provided with camber angle, which can be altered as per the requirement. Now, before going deep into this topic, we need to understand what is tire contact. The portion of the tire which is in contact with the road surface because of the vehicle weight acting on it is called as the tire contact patch. If this is the tire when viewing from the front and there is some vehicle weight acting on it, then the tire will have certain amount of contact at the bottom with the road surface. That portion of contact is called as the tire contact patch. Now, when being from the top, it will be of some different shape because of the viscoelastic properties of the tire. Okay. Now, for camber angle, we'll be looking at two conditions, that is straight driving and cornering with zero camber angle as well as negative camber angle. Now we'll be looking at negative camber with straight and cornering situations. So firstly, looking with negative camber plus straight driving. Now, this is somewhat of disadvantage to the driver, that the wheel is slightly inclined towards the vehicle, because as the wheel is slightly inclined, there will be less amount of contact patch at the ground because of the tilt of the tire. This can be seen in this image of the Formula 1 vehicle, where both the wheels are slightly inclined, and the tire loses some amount of contact patch in this portion because of the tilt. Now we'll be looking at why these Formula 1 vehicles and race cars are generally provided with negative camber. As you already know, there is a disadvantage of having negative camber during the straights, but negative camber is highly beneficial during cornering. Now you can imagine that if the vehicle wheel is inclined during straight driving, and after the body rolls or the vehicle rolls, there is load transfer taking place, causing the tire this tire to tilt towards the right portion, towards the right. Because of the tilt towards the right, the this angled wheel which is towards the vehicle will again try to move towards the right, causing which will act now as a somewhat of a straight wheel. Because of acting as a straight wheel, there will be more amount of contact patch at the bottom because of the body roll taking place, which will improve the traction of the vehicle. Now, this is the reason why the racing cars and the Formula One cars or the Formula Student cars are generally provided with negative camber at the tires. Now, we'll be looking at effect of the side force while cornering and how it affects camber. So, as we saw that there is a longitudinal load transfer taking place during cornering because of the body roll. So, in order to oppose this side force which is acting on the tire because of the roll, there is a opposing force called as the lateral force, lateral thrust, or centripetal force acting at the bottom of the tire contact patch, which is here, which adds up to the negatively cambered tire, thereby increasing the contact grip and of the outer wheel, thereby providing more traction. The problems with negative camber. The issue with having negative camber, as we saw earlier, is that the grip while straight driving is highly compromised. As well as while cornering, the inner tire is lifted up greater than the outer tire because of the negative camber angle provided, and which reduces the amount of contact patch for the inner tire. But the inner tire is not much significant, as the maximum amount of load is taken by the outer tire while cornering as the body rolls. So outer tire, we can say, is more important than the inner tire while cornering. So we can conclude that the race cars, as they go through much of cornering situations, so they can have negative camber, and as the passengers cars are much more highly used for straight driving and less for cornering, so they can have zero camber or a slight of positive camber.